Morning, myself, Dr. Jackson Daniel, professor in EC department. Today's lecture is condition to be satisfied by the heart-lung system. Heart-lung machine, artificial heart is the first unit. So, in this unit, we are going to discuss about the condition to be satisfied by the heart-lung system or heart-lung machine. Before that, we have to know the cardiovascular system. What the function of the cardiovascular system? The heart, that is venous or unoxygenated blood, is returned to the right side of the heart at a pressure of 0 to 5 mmHg. So, and oxygen saturation below 75% be there. From the right side of the heart, the blood is pumped into the lungs through the pulmonary arteries. So, through the pulmonary artery, the blood is pumped to the lungs. In the lungs, the blood is oxygenated to about 95 to 98% saturation, and then it is going to the left atrium of the heart, the left side of the heart, left atrium. From there, the blood flows into the left ventricle through this mitral valve. The left ventricle is called the more powerful chamber of the heart. The left ventricle is a powerful chamber of the heart because the ventricle ejects the blood into the aorta through the aortic valve. The left ventricle ejects the blood to the aorta through the aortic valve. So the contraction of left ventricle is rhythmic contraction. So the blood is pulsatile flow. So the reaching a systolic peak pressure about 90 to 140 mmHg with 120 mmHg as the mean pressure, and diastole of about 60 to 90 mmHg is a diastolic pressure. So this is a systolic and diastolic pressure. During the diastolic period, the dilation of heart chambers as they fill the blood. So we can see the block diagram of the cardiovascular system. Before that, the sequence of operations in the cardiovascular system, the heart pumping, the process begins with the heart which is a muscular organ divided into 4 chambers, 2 atria and 2 ventricles. The right atrium receives the deoxygenated blood, as I told earlier, from the body through the superior and inferior vena cava. Right atrium contracts, pumping the blood into the right ventricle. The right ventricle then contracts and sending the deoxygenated blood to the lungs through the pulmonary arteries. So this is a sequence of operations which is performed in the heart, that is called the systematic cardiovascular circulation. So this is a left atrium, this is a left ventricle, right atrium, right ventricle. So here 4 valve we have seen. One is tricuspid valve and mitral valve, semilunar valve and aortic valve. The valve separates the 2 chambers of the heart, right and left part of the heart, right atrium and ventricle of the and left atrium and left ventricle of the heart. So further, the pulmonary circulation is in the lungs. The carbon dioxide is exchanged for oxygen in the alveoli through the process of respiration. The oxygenated blood returned to the heart via pulmonary vein, entering the left atrium. So we can see here there is through this is shown here is a lungs. Is a model diagram. It's right lung and left lung. The transportations between oxygen and blood is taken place here, the alveolus, and then oxygenated blood is coming to the right atrium here. Left atrium here. Turn to the heart via the pulmonary veins, enter into the left atrium. Systemic circulation. The left atrium contracts. Then after that, the left atrium contracts, it pumping the oxygenated blood into the left ventricle. The left ventricle contracts, sending the oxygenated blood into the aorta. The aorta is a major blood vessels. through the aortic valve. So this is a main vessel or main artery that carries blood away from the heart to the rest of the organ of the body. So through this aortic valve we can have legs here, internal organ, and other part of the body the blood is circulated, head and other arms, other part of the body the blood is circulated from the aorta to the other organs, other parts of the body. And then the blood is distributed through the arteries. The aorta branches into smaller artery carrying oxygenated blood throughout the body. Arteries have thick muscular walls to withstand the pressure generated by the heart's contractions. So this is another view of the heart. Here the superior vena cava, and blood is entered into the heart. It's right atrium, left atrium. There is two valves here, and here two valves. So this is the entire structure of the heart. Similarly, capillary exchange, the arteries branches into smaller vessels. The smaller vessels called the arterioles, which in turn leads to microscopic capillaries in the tissues. Capillaries facilitate the exchange of oxygen and nutrients and waste product between the blood and surrounding tissues. So here that process will take place from the lungs and the heart. From the heart, the blood is entered to the lungs, and here the transportations of oxygen and carbon dioxide will take place. The deoxygenated blood, that is venous return, along with waste products return to the heart through the vein from different parts of the body converge into larger vein, eventually leading to superior and inferior vena cava, which return blood to the right atrium. So here the right atrium, which receives the deoxygenated blood to the entire from the entire organs of the body to the superior vena cava, from the superior and inferior vena cava. So here the superior vena cava, here some more coronary venous and some more inferior vena cava. Through this the right atrium receives the deoxygenated blood. The cardiac cycle includes the events of one complete heartbeat consisting of systole and diastole. Systole is contractions and diastole is relaxation of atria and ventricles. The heart's electrical system, driven by the sinoatrial node and atrioventricular node, coordinates the rhythmic contraction and relaxation of the heart chamber. So our objective is to study the heart-lung machines and conditions for the heart-lung machines. So the heart-lung machine is an apparatus that does the work both of heart and lungs. So it replaces the hearts and lungs. So instead of during the cardiac surgery, we can use the heart-lung machines. Heart pumps the blood, and lungs it oxygenates the blood. We can replace both the functions by heart-lung machine. During open heart surgery, majority of the heart-lung machines are used during the open heart surgery. The basic function of the machine is to oxygenate the body's venous supply of blood, and then to pump it back to the arterial system. Blood returning to the heart is diverted through the machine before returning to the arterial circulation. This is a diagram, a systematic diagram or schematic diagram or a model of a heart-lung machine. Here from diagram we can see clearly two cannules are inserted into the right side of the heart to collect the returning venous blood. So two cannules are connected. That cannules are used for collecting the return blood. Using the heart-lung machine, that is extracorporeal circulations can be possible, and in which the lungs and hearts are replaced by the oxygenator and blood pump. So this oxygenator is replaced instead of lungs. The blood pump is replaced instead of heart. So heart is replaced by blood pump and lungs is replaced by oxygenator. So in the oxygenator, the blood is exposed to an atmosphere rich in oxygen. From the oxygenator, a pump raises the pressure of the blood to the mean arterial pressure, from which it flows into the arterial heat exchanger. Arterial heat exchanger is necessary during hypothermic or low temperature operations. This will maintain the heat between 37 degree and 30 degree. Beyond this time, the ventricular fibrillations can occur. So without hyperthermia, the operation time is limited to 10 minutes. With anyway increased operation time may lead to hemolysis or breakdown of the red blood cells. So we should be careful to operate the machine's particular appropriate time. So in the heat exchanger, the blood is maintained at the body temperature, that is 37 degree centigrade. From the arterial heat exchanger, so there is a error mistake, is not arterium, arterial AL, arterial. There is some mistake is there. So from the arterial heat exchanger, the blood passes through the filter. Filter used to prevent the possibility of particles or bubbles returning to the body. So it will prevent the bubbles returning to the body. The systemic circulation is maintained by returning this arterial oxygenated blood to the major arteries. So in addition to ensure that the coronary arteries and the heart itself are properly perfused with the blood during aortic valve surgery, individual cannules are inserted into the each of the coronary artery and blood is pumped through them. So this process is called the heart lung machines. The impure blood is collected and stored in the reservoir and setting the reservoir and oxygenator, and oxygen will be the oxygen enriched blood, that is called pure blood, is given to the different parts of the body through the arteries and artery and arteries to different part of the body. This is arterial heat exchanger. This is a coronary heat exchanger to maintain the body temperature between the 30 to 37 degrees centigrade. Our objective of this today's presentation is condition to be satisfied by the heart lung system. True, there is certain conditions or rules to be followed while using the heart lung machines during the surgery. Then only the proper functioning of the heart lung machines will be ensured. So the several conditions must be satisfied. One of the conditions is functional heart. The heart must be in good working conditions to pump the blood effectively throughout the body. So it should have a normal rhythm, and its valve, all the four valves should be open and closed properly to maintain the unidirectional blood flow. Second one is adequate blood volume. There must be a sufficient volume of blood in the circulatory system to ensure proper perfusion of organs and tissues. Adequate blood volume is crucial for maintaining blood pressure and delivering oxygen and nutrients. Third condition is clear blood vessels. The blood vessels, including arteries and vein and capillary, should be clear of any obstruction such as plaque, clot, or any other blockage. So clear vessels facilitate smooth blood flow and prevent complications like heart attacks and strokes. And fourth conditions to be satisfied is functional lungs. The respiratory system, including lungs, must be in good working condition to facilitate the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide. The lungs should have a healthy air sacs, alveoli, the clear airway for proper ventilation. And fifth condition is oxygen-rich blood. The blood should carry a sufficient amount of oxygen, which is essential for cellular function and energy productions. This requires effective oxygen uptake in the lungs and its transport through the bloodstream. And sixth condition is carbon dioxide removal. The heart lung system must effectively remove carbon dioxide, that is a waste product of cellular metabolism, from the blood. This occurs primarily through the respiratory system during exhalation. Balanced blood pressure. So the cardiovascular system should maintain a balanced blood pressure to ensure proper perfusion of organs without causing damage to blood vessels. This will involve a coordinated effort between heart and blood vessels and also kidneys. Eighth condition is regulatory mechanisms. The body's regulatory mechanisms such as autonomous nervous system. The nervous system controls entire actions of the body. So the autonomous nervous system and hormonal control should function properly to adjust the heart rate and blood pressure, respiratory rate based on the body's needs. And ninth condition is healthy blood component. Blood must contain a right mix of red blood cells, white blood cells, platelets. So the proper composition is crucial for function of the body and also oxygen transport and clotting. Temperature regulations. The cardiovascular system plays a role in regulating the body temperature through proper circulation of blood. Proper temperature regulation is essential for enzymatic activity and overall cellular function. So these are the 10 different functions or conditions to be satisfied by the heart lung machines heart lung system. So if the conditions are satisfied, then the heart lung machines can work properly and the you can carry out the cardiac surgery. So overall, the heart lung system's effective functioning is crucial for hemostasis, that is maintaining homeostasis in the body, that is supporting metabolism and ensuring the delivery of oxygen and nutrients to tissues while removing waste products. Various factors including lifestyle choices, genetics and overall health that can influence the conditions of the heart lung system. Regular exercise, a balanced diet and avoidance of smoking and excessive alcohol consumptions contribute to maintaining a healthy cardiovascular respiratory system. So these are the conditions to be satisfied by a heart lung system. Thank you.